Hello. Good morning. This is a early morning practice designed to get you from a complete relaxation state up to a little bit more of an energized feeling, ready for the day. So starting in everyone's favorite pose, Shavasana. So really relaxing the whole of your body down onto the mat. As you can see, I have my knees bent, my legs bent, the soles of my feet on the mat, and I just knock my knees together. So it just eases a little bit of tension that I often feel quite early in the morning into my lower back. If you can take your legs long and it feels good and comfortable, just allow your legs to just fall out naturally, your feet to just roll out. If that feels good, then stay there. And if you've gone to this pose and it doesn't feel quite so nice, then come back to that bent knee position, knocking the knees together, taking a few deep grounding minutes, a few good breaths, inhales, exhales. No need to have any control over the breath. Noticing each inhale as it enters your body and each exhale as it leaves. Allowing your shoulders to fully relax into the ground. Allowing the muscles in your face to release. If you've just woken up in the last few minutes, then you might find it a lot easier to get your body into this state of deep relaxation. If you've been up for a little while, it might be a little bit harder, but just persevere with it. Keep breathing, noticing any tension in your body, and then breathing into it, and on the exhale, just allowing it to release as you get rid of anything you don't need on the breath out. Stay here for a few more moments. Start to invite a little bit of movement into your fingers, just giving them a little bit of a wiggle. And maybe a little bit of movement into your toes as well. And then if your legs are straight, just bringing them in. So bending the knees and bringing the soles of your feet onto the mat, and then just window wiper your knees one side and the other, bringing a little bit of movement into the hips, into the lower back. Beautiful, and then bringing the knees into the chest, giving them a good squeeze in. On an exhale, dropping your knees towards the right side of the mat into a little fetal position. And then on an inhale, you're going to reach your fingertips up and over your head on the floor behind you as you sweep your legs down, coming through a big pencil stretch as you then start to curl up into a fetal position, facing the left side of the mat. On an inhale, coming back through that pencil stretch. And then exhale, curl up in a little ball on your right side. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, curling up. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, curl it up and stay here, keeping the knees in towards the chest, not all the way, but just they're bent, reaching the left fingertips up towards the sky, and then opening that arm out, laying it on the ground beside you, just at shoulder height. And if you want to take this feeling a little bit more, maybe you want to play around with the position of your top leg, so your left leg, maybe you want to bring the knee closer into the chest. Maybe you just want to keep it where it is. And feeling that beautiful twist through your spine. Gazing towards the left hand if it's comfortable, or just up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. And then bringing that arm up and over, back into your little fetal position. And then inhale, stretching out into your pencil stretch. Exhale, coming towards the left side. Inhale, stretch it right out. Fingertips to toes. Exhale, curling back up. Inhale, stretch it out. And this time you're going to stay facing the left side of the room. Beautiful. Curling up into a little ball. And then reaching that right hand up and then over, placing it on the floor just beside you at shoulder height. Gazing towards that hand if it's comfortable. Playing around with the position of your right knee, your right leg. Maybe pulling it in a little bit closer, maybe keeping it where it is. Maybe even applying a little bit of weight into that leg so you can really start to twist a little bit more in this pose. Lovely. And then bringing that right arm back in, curling up into that fetal position. This time you're simply going to come onto your back, squeezing your knees into your chest, into Apanasana. And then maybe you take your knees a little bit wider. So maybe not into your chest, maybe more towards the side of your body, if it's comfortable. If not, just coming back to your knees in towards your chest. Lovely. And then here, we're going to make our way onto our bums into a seated position. But whether you want to just rock onto one side and slowly push yourself up, or maybe you want to do a few rock and rolls down the spine. So bringing your hands just behind your thigh, so grabbing hold of your hamstring, and then starting to just invite a few rocks along your spine, only coming up as high as your shoulder, so you're not coming onto your neck at any point. And then just do a few to just sit you up into a seated position. Lifting your sit bones up and out the way, so you're sitting nice and tall on your mat, coming to Baddha Konasana, or to butterfly, so the soles of your feet are together, and allow your knees to just fall open, sitting up nice and tall, and then draw your chest forward. So trying to encourage length through the spine. Keep drawing the chest forward. Hold for a breath in here. And then exhale. You can round through the spine now as you bring your head down, relaxing through the back of the neck. Really trying to encourage your hips to fully relax in this pose. And then slowly walking all the way back up. You're going to lengthen through your right leg. I'm going to turn to face you guys. So bringing the left heel in towards your groin. We're going to inhale, lift the left fingertips up towards the ceiling and give me a nice little side bend over that straight leg. You might not go very far, that's absolutely fine. You might have to go all the way down and grab hold of that foot, but try not to allow your chest to cave in here. So your chest is still spiraling open in this pose. Lovely. Coming back up, placing that left hand just behind your hips and then lifting your hips up, putting weight into that left hand, finding a little variation of wild thing here, reaching the right fingertips. Reaching through the right fingertips all the way down to your right toes, feeling a beautiful opening down the side of your body, maybe even into the front of that right leg, into the hip flexor, maybe even into your chest. And then exhale, sit your bum back down and then keep your hands in as you just simply change legs. Try to do it without using your hands. Lovely little test. Gorgeous. Sitting up nice and tall, reaching your right fingertips up and lean over your left leg, reaching your right fingertips over that left leg. Breathing into each stretch, each transition, each pose, each moment, trying to focus in on your breath. Coming up, beautiful, placing that right hand just behind you, lifting the hips, sweeping that left hand up, reaching the left fingertips away, reaching the left toes away. Beautiful. Really pushing the hips up nice and high, pushing them forward as well. Gorgeous. And then coming back down onto your bum. We're going to find pigeon pose, so facing the top of the mat. Sweep your right leg behind, left leg is in front, and your foot can be as close to your groin as you need it to be, flexing through that foot and allow that right leg to just go behind you. It can be, you'll have your toes tucked if you like, or just place the top of your foot on the floor. And then exhale here, coming down into pigeon pose. You can rest on your forearms, you can bring your chest all the way down. You can place your hands into fists if you like and just balance them one on top of the other, placing your head on your fists. Just breathing here for a few moments. Lovely, and then slowly inching your way back up. Without using your hands, you're going to try and bring that front leg, that back leg all the way forward and send your front leg all the way back. Oh, you might get to a point where you think, actually, Antonio, I do need to use my hands, as I've just done. That's absolutely fine. So bringing the right foot in towards the groin, flexing through that foot, left leg is back behind you, and then exhale, find your humble pigeon pose. Whatever feels good for you in your body, whether that's bringing your belly and your chest right down onto the mat. Taking a few deep breaths here to fully relax into this pose. Gorgeous, and then slowly starting to walk your hands all the way back up. This time you're going to find a tabletop, so just taking that leg just behind you, so now you're on both shins, hands under your shoulders. You're going to drop your belly, gaze up towards the sky, lifting your sit bones up towards the sky, and then exhale, rounding through the back, crown of the head, down towards the ground, reaching down towards the ground as you're pushing up with your hands, puffing up through your shoulders. And then inhale, dropping the belly, coming the other way. Exhale, round through the spine. Inhale, dropping the belly. Exhale, round through the spine. On your next inhale, we'll find our neutral spine in our tabletop, and then tucking the toes, lifting the sit bones up and back into downward facing dog. And straight away here, you can start to walk through one foot and then the other. Maybe bringing your hips into it a little bit as well. Ooh. You can go as fast or as slow as you like here. Lovely. Inhale, look towards your hands. You're going to reach, your left leg forwards in between your hands, coming to crescent lunge. Squeezing through the glutes. And you're going to inhale and sweep your hands up into a crescent lunge. Lovely, driving back through that right heel, left foot firmly planted into the floor, bending through the left knee. Lovely, we're going to open up, exhale into warrior two. Big shift in the hips here, so they now face the long side of the mat. Tracking open with this left knee, squeezing through the glutes to make this happen. Beautiful, hands up to shoulder height, arms up to shoulder height, relaxing through the shoulders. Beautiful. On an inhale, you're going to reach your left hand forward. Nothing happens with the legs. You just reach your left hand forward and then up and back into a gorgeous sun warrior. You can float that right hand up into a little ballerina fifth position if you like. And then exhale, we're going to find extended side angles. So bringing the left forearm down onto the left thigh. We're going to reach the right hand up and over the head. Feeling a beautiful little stretch down the right side of the body. If you want to take this a little bit further, you can reach that right hand up as you reach the left fingertips down. Gorgeous. And then exhale, we're going to find dragonfly. So floating the right hand down onto the mat, picking up the heel on the back foot. So now you're on the toes, hips facing forwards into a lunge, reaching the left hand up towards the ceiling as you twist towards your left foot. Gorgeous. Hold for one more breath in here. And then breath out. Float that hand, so the hands at either side of the front foot, and then step back to a downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale, look towards your hands and make your way to the top of the mat, hanging heavy in a forward fold here. On an inhale, find a halfway lift. So squeeze your shoulder blades together, coming up with a nice lengthened spine. And then exhale, plant the hands on the floor, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend both knees, look towards the hands and step your right foot through into a lunge. Back knee is off the floor. On an inhale, squeeze through the glutes and sweep the fingertips up towards the sky. Feeling a big opening through the hip flexor on that back leg. Give me one more breath in, driving back with that back heel. And then exhale, open up. So we're coming into warrior two, facing the side of the mat. Tracking open that front knee. So that right knee, tracking it open. Squeezing through the glutes. And then inhale, reach the right fingertips forwards and then up and behind, reaching the left hand up if you like into a ballerina fifth position. So you're feeling a beautiful stretch down the right side of the body. Your legs haven't moved. You can sink a little bit lower with your hips if you like. Woohoo! Bringing that right forearm down onto your thigh and reaching the left fingertips up and over, coming to extended side angle pose. And then if you wanted to take a little bit further, you can reach those right fingertips down towards the mat, reaching the left hand fingertips up. Start to feel a little bit more strength building into that right leg. Oh, gorgeous. Float that left hand down onto the mat. Pick up the heel on the back foot, so drive out through the heel. So we're in a lunge now, facing the front of the mat. And then reach the right hand up towards the ceiling, twisting towards this right foot. Big breath in. Big breath out. Float that hand down onto the mat and step back into a downward facing dog. Bend both knees, look towards your hands, and then step forwards to the top of your mat, hanging heavy here in a forward fold. Inhale, find me a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Next, inhale, we're going to start to rise all the way up, stacking one vertebrae on top of the other. Sweeping the hands above the head. We're going to open arm twist to the left hand side. So reach your right fingertips forward, your left fingertips back. Nice little twist in the body. Inhale, come back to extended mountain pose. And then open arm twist the other way. Inhale. This time taking hold of your right wrist at the top, diving towards the left hand side. Exhale. On an inhale, coming back up to center, grabbing hold of your left wrist, diving towards the right. Inhale, coming back up. And this time, exhale, folding all the way forwards into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, bend both knees, look towards your hands and make your way to the top of the mat. Hanging heavy in a forward fold here. On an inhale, draw your fingers up your shins, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming all the way up, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to a downward facing dog. Hold for a breath in here. Exhale. Inhale, bend both knees, look towards the top of the mat and step through into a forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. We've got one more. Inhale, halfway lift. One more sun salutation. Exhale, step back to a downward facing dog. Hold for a breath in. Breath out. Hold for a breath in. Breath out. Inhale, bend both knees, look towards your hands and make your way to the top of the mat. Exhale. On an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. This time finding your extended mountain pose, coming all the way up. Inhale. Bring your hands together above your head to touch and then bring them through on an exhale to heart center. And then allow them to just float down beside you, palms facing forwards. Grounding down through both feet. Rolling the shoulders back, standing up nice and tall. Slight activation through the core, so we're not squeezing it in 100%, probably about 25-30%. Same through your glutes. And we're going to close the practice with 3 breaths together. Exhaling everything from your lungs to start. Standing up nice and tall. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. This time sweep your hands above your head. Inhale. Bring your hands to touch. Exhale as you bring them through to heart center. Gaze down towards your fingertips. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit more energized, a little bit more awake. I hope you enjoyed that practice. Thank you guys. Namaste.